coming in my jacket, okay?
Okay. Now I understand.
Oh, you're saying, okay. Yeah, I misinterpreted what you were saying. Gotta have courage. Actually, I did not misinterpret what you were saying. I understood what you were saying the first time. I knew you weren't talking about being my ass. I know that.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying, though.
You got any
You'll get
friends?
whoever.
Oh. Girl, you know me. You know me.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, it's cold in New York. It's cold. It should be cold every damn where. It should be cold everywhere. It's not cold there?
I had on shorts today.
Oh, hell no.
And
You gotta be kidding me.
I was at work at 6 a.m. wearing shorts. I was hot. So I don't
And
know.
it's cold
Maybe
in
it's
Jersey
me.
too. Yeah. You're in Jersey, gotta have courage. It's cold on the East Coast. Let me just say that.
Shout out to
It's
Jersey and New York. That's my favorite states, if y'all didn't know. Like, I mean, I love my home state. I love everything about it. But I'm telling y'all, my friends know I love me some New York and New Jersey. I have lots of family there, okay? Like,
lots of family in Jersey, yes. She has
listen.
lots of family in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And you lived there for a short amount of time. Remember when you came to visit? You actually lived in Jersey for a while.
I did.
Ash said, "Wear them shorts."
Okay.
I'm originally from North Carolina, but I reside in Brooklyn. The live keeps freezing. It does that sometimes. They be hating. They be hating. Can you guys hear and see us clearly now? Before we move on, can you hear and see us clearly? Drop a mic in the comment. It's freezing there too, Ash. Get out of here. That's crazy. It's freezing in Costa Rica. ¿Qué pasa?
All right. It's this climate change.
All right, we got some mics in the comments. So, all right, they can see and hear us clearly. First things first, I'll pop a freak store the hut now. How was your day, Bessie?
My day has been amazing. Like, I've been getting a handle of this new role, and today was my last day of my classes. I have officially finished my first semester in my PhD program. Come on. Like, I'm really excited. I am really excited. And so many of my classmates and I were like, at one hand, we're glad that it's over, but on the second, it took so much work, right? But we're excited that we're here. Like, baby, we can get some of our life back. So yes, it's been amazing. Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
And give my bestie his flowers while he can still receive them because he deserves them.
Yes.
And more. So that's great. We're very proud of you, and I know you're gonna do more than just get this additional degree. But we're so proud of you, and we know that it has been hell on Hot Wheels, balancing out working, this podcast, and going back to school. So I tip my hat off to you, and I give you your flowers because your flowers are well overdue. Okay, you need a whole damn bouquet. You need a whole damn bouquet.
Thank you.
And we love you. So let's go ahead and jump right in. If it's your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I'm Ashley Anye, an intuitive alchemist and energy reader. And I'm just here to help y'all heal. And we're healing with humor because laughter is always the best medicine. Talk to these people, B.
I'm B. I am Magoon. My voice is trying to leave me. Hold on.
But I was trying to leave too. I thought what I was like.
See?
What's going on?
And but like Ashley said, we are here to help you guys heal. I am just the tool that spirit will use as spirit pleases. You will see me operate in a multitude of gifts, with or without cards, with or without candles, with or without oils and sprays. I'm telling you, whenever spirit want to tap in, spirit just take over like, oh wait, give me the steering wheel. And I'm like, okay, okay. If y'all were with us last week, y'all
Oh
don't
God.
understand. Y'all do not understand. I called Ashley after the show. I was like, girl, I need a seatbelt. I need something to strap me down. I felt like I was floating out of space. I was scared to go to sleep low key, high key. Cause I was like, I don't want to wake up and I'm in, out of space somewhere. I done
The
fizzled through the
ethereal
roof,
realm.
right? Fizzled through the roof and everything. But on this show, we never know what's going to happen until it happens. So welcome.
Yeah, last week was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. When you called me, I immediately knew that something was off when I was finishing up my statement and I was like, all right, B, what do you think? And I was like, B, you there? Because you are always alert. You are always like 10 steps ahead of the wagon. So I was like, I know B heard me because he was looking at me after I finished my sentence. But yet instead he was looking down as if he was holding on for dear life. So that's how I knew something was wrong.
If y'all ever get a chance to see my table, I was holding on to the sides of the table. I was holding on to the legs. I promise y'all, I really felt like I was about to float out. I was like, listen, don't do that to me. Give me a warning,
Yeah. Well, spirit, listen, when you're a chosen one, earth angel, star seed, seer, what have you, like, that is your warning. Like, spirit being like, okay, look, you're
Ready
about
for
to get
takeoff.
it. That is
Right.
your warning. Because it could have been something that came after that. So maybe the lifting was the warning, okay? Maybe
Right.
you being lifted was your warning. Let's just
Right.
call it that. Because it could have been something more deeper than that. You could have been
Yeah.
floating in the air. So we're glad that you're still here on solid ground.
Yes.
And those of you guys who are just joining us for the first time, welcome. This is the judgment-free zone. You guys kick back, relax, get your snack, get your yak. Like I always say, 40 minutes of cards and conversations is like 4 years of college. If you're going to chill with us, you might as well build with us, all right? And tonight's topic is thought-provoking. Yes, we are talking about retrograde. Y'all know there are 5 planets in retrograde? 5 planets retrograding currently. So if you guys have been feeling out of whack, feeling like your emotions are all over the place, it's retrograde. It is retro mother freaking grade. So there's a reason for that. And people always think, oh no, my period just coming on. My grandma getting on my damn nerves. No, it's a reason why all of these things are happening. Cha-ching, yeah, it's the reason why. Yes, Saturn's in retrograde as well. Chiron, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune. So we have a lot of planets that are in retrograde.
Excuse me.
Because the reason why a lot of you guys are having all of these emotions. Also, when you guys are feeling like you're not yourself, check to see what sign the moon is in. What sign the moon has transitioned in. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So if you feel like your emotions are all over the place, check and see what sign the moon is in. Not sure what sign it's in today, but that's just an FYI for you guys. If you guys are feeling like you're not yourself or that you're overly emotional, check to see what sign the moon is in. All right, so
hold on, and I do want a quick poll, real quick, very quick poll. How many people have been seeing 555 lately?
I've been seeing 5. Today I saw 555. As a matter of fact,
for the past like 3 or 4 days, I've been seeing 555, and I'm like, okay,
changes.
Okay, I'm like, okay, right. So I just wanted to see, put that poll out there. And even if you're watching us after the show, the replay, let us know, because I really do want to see how many people are seeing 555. I don't call it a coincidence. It's 555, and then it's 5 planets in retrograde. That's not just a coincidence.
Gotta have courage that they saw it yesterday. Yeah, there's a reason why you're seeing repeating numbers, and we've done several podcasts talking about repeating numbers. I don't think we've discussed 555 in like on its own, but if y'all are seeing 555, changes are on the horizon. Changes are coming. That means you guys are experiencing change, transitions. So pay attention to that. Didn't see, what does that mean, Ash?
Samesies.
Samesies. Okay. Not sure what that means, but okay, girl, do your thing. So yeah.
I got you.
Okay. Oh, so it must be a Destiny thing that I wasn't included in, Ash. Yeah, I would appreciate that. Okay, I always need to be included in what's going on. Moving right along. All right, so like I said, there are 5 planets in retrograde. And that's the reason why you guys are probably feeling the effects of it. All right, we have Neptune that's retrograding in Aries and Pisces until, from July 4th into December 10th, 2025. Saturn in retrograde in Aries and in Pisces. That's going to wrap up on November 28th. Chiron is retrograding in Aries from July 30th, 2025 until January 2nd, 2026. So that's going to be a retrograde until 2026, my beautiful people. Uranus is in retrograde in Gemini and Taurus from September 6th, 2025 until February 4th, 2026. And of course, Mercury is retrograding in the sign of Sagittarius and Pisces from November 9th until November 29th, 2025. And last but certainly not least, we have Jupiter retrograding in Cancer from November 11th, 2025 to March 11th, 2026. Hi, Soraya. So we have several planets that are actually remaining in retrograde until next year, guys. So that's why you have to be conscientious of your energy and overstand, and understand that a lot of the things that you guys are feeling may not necessarily be what you're feeling. It could be someone who you're connected to. It could be the energies in the earth. Sometimes sometimes Instagram does not alert you, Soraya. It's so annoying. I don't know where that comes from. It does that all the time with me as well. Like whenever, because see, I log on 2 devices just so I can see myself to make sure that my lighting is good and I'm clear. And sometimes it won't even alert me from my other device, my other account rather, that I'm live. So, I don't know what to say about that. Instagram be on one.
And you have these glitches like last week where I'm seeing us on the camera that I'm recording.
Like that was where the collective said that they saw me, but your screen was black, and I could see me, but I couldn't see you. Which could probably be attributed to Mercury being in retrograde. That's probably why Ash said she got alerted so good. A lot of people weren't alerted, so I'm glad that you were alerted, Ash. But yeah, y'all know we go on the same time. Unless you see a reel or a post that says that we have postponed, we will always be live Tuesdays, 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. So y'all know that to be a fact. That's a fact. Every single Tuesday, 11:11. But yeah, so this may be the reason why you guys are feeling all these different emotions. There's a lot of planetary transits going on in the astral realms, okay, which are going to in turn affect your emotions, and people don't realize this. It's kind of like when they say when it's a full moon, like emotions get like intense, like the wolves start roaring and all type of crazy stuff happens. Like that's real. Like weird things happen when things are going on in the planets, with the planets rather, okay? So pay attention to that. So tonight we're going to be talking about what Mercury in retrograde means for you guys, for the collective. Mercury is retrograding in the fiery sign of Sagittarius and in the watery sign of Pisces, okay? And these 2 signs are ruled by the largest planet in the solar system, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, okay? So what does that mean for you guys? Let's talk about it. All right. So Mercury is a time when communication, technology, and travel may feel off or delayed. So just making sure that you guys are leaving on time for flights, making sure when you're communicating with people, try not to do it over text unless you guys have that established relationship to where the person knows what you mean through text messages, because a lot of things can get misconstrued through text messages if you don't know how the person is saying it and the tone of text of what they're saying it. So just make sure that you guys are coming across very direct and clear and concise, because this is the time of reflection, realignment, and revisiting the past. And I like to always clarify, because a lot of people always say, oh, I always get that you up text from an ex during Mercury retrograde. And that's not necessarily applicable for everyone. It's a time for you guys to revisit not only things in the past, but maybe thoughts, maybe task, project, not necessarily people. It's a chance for you to reevaluate, okay? And if you don't want to reevaluate, release, recalibrate. If you don't want to recalibrate, release, okay? It doesn't necessarily always have to do with an ex. People just always attach that stigma to it, even though that could very well be the case with a lot of people, but it's not always involving an ex, okay? Yeah, voice notes are good, Ash. I tend to always do voice notes because you don't know what someone is, what tone of text they're saying when they are texting you. So that's why I love voice notes, right? So again, this retrograde is happening in Sagittarius and Pisces, bringing unique energy, Sagittarian energy, all right? Philosophical, truth-telling, that big Jupiter energy, higher learning, travel. While the Pisces energy governs intuition, dreams, and spiritual alignment. So these two together, powerful, catastrophic, these two together, right? So here are some key points that we're going to discuss, guys. How these energies are going to change the dynamics of your relationships and your life, okay? Expect some misunderstandings, miscommunications, delays, especially in global discussions, higher education, and international travel. Like I said, if you guys are leaving for a flight, leave an hour early. If you're driving, make sure you have a map handy. Don't always rely on, Surrey, or the person that tells you where to go. Like, have an old-fashioned map with you, because when Mercury's in retrograde, technology can be out of whack. It can literally cut off at the drop of a dime. So let's take it back to old-fashioned. Get that map, all right? People may feel more sensitive or emotionally reactive than usual due to the Piscean influence, which is why I say if you guys are having disputes, take a step back and just, think, all right, maybe this is not as big as I'm making it. My emotions may be out of whack because of what's going on in the stratosphere. Let me just take a step back to collect myself, and I'll revisit the conversation maybe a little later, because emotions can be high right now, okay? You have that Piscean energy, the water sign, very intuitive, sensitive, empathetic, yes. And then you also have that Sagittarian energy, fire, bold, vivacious, okay? So we want to make sure that when we're having conversations with people, it's coming from a place of patience. Okay, not so much, let me just get some shit off my chest, okay? Because we know you want to get it off your chest, but during this time, you gotta, it's levels to this ish, okay? There's levels to this, all right? So, yes, reevaluate if your path aligns with truth. So, guys, if you are reevaluating if you're in the right job, reevaluate if it aligns with your soul's purpose, truth. Sagittarian energy, okay? Following what is true, what is real, what is authentic. So a lot of you guys will be faced with the challenge of, am I on the right path? Am I doing what's right? Am I truly working towards my goals? Spirit has literally put these things in your path right now to ask you, are you doing what's right? Are you literally living in your purpose? And they will, and Spirit will not only have you face those tough questions, but Spirit is going to give you the intuition to be able to see and to feel and to really understand if these goals are in alignment with what you're actually doing, if that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is some of the things that you guys are going to be visiting. So avoid rushing, avoid, signing major contracts around this time. They always tell people, if you are thinking about doing something big, unless you know this is the right decision, this is something that you guys know that you want to do, and you're making the right decision, don't make any rash big decisions right now. Like, as far as, like, if you guys are, like, closing in on the house, unless you've done your research about the house, you know the neighborhood, the history behind it, you've gone to the house, checked the energy out, did a temperature check, just try not to make any rash decisions right now. During retrograde, it's not a good time to do anything big, any major life decisions, unless you guys have done a temperature check and you know that it's the right decision. So just tread carefully during this time with, signing contracts and rushing with signing contracts. I'm not saying you guys can't sign anything, but just make sure you do your research to make sure that what you're signing aligns with your values, okay?
Exactly.
So let's talk about the Pisces energy, all right? Prioritizing your spiritual self-care, dream journaling. You guys are going to be having a tremendous amount of dreams during this time. So make sure you guys are journaling. Have you been doing that lately, Bestie? Taking notes on your journal?
Well,
okay, good.
Mainly because they've been so intricate, and I've been trying to figure out what the heck I'm dreaming about. And I'm like, okay, what was that about? But I will also say, I think some of the dreams that I've had have actually been visitations from my ancestors, but just in the dream space.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been really amazing. It's been really amazing.
Now, how can you tell the difference? Is it the actual person, or is it like a representation of them, where you know it's them because it's their favorite flower, or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know?
So, and I'm still looking up one. So the one that sticks out the most, and it was because I knew I needed to get some instructions from them. And so I said, hey, I need y'all to visit me. I want to see more of you. Like, I know it's more of you than the few that I've seen. And they, in the dream, I went to a spa in the desert. Right. I went to a spa in the desert, and everybody was like wearing these black shirts, and they had like their names, the name of this company. And so I was walking in, and I was like, okay, well, how does this work? Like, and this person introduced themselves, and then they began to introduce me to a few other people, but they were all posed as workers. And I was just like, okay. And so when I woke up, I said, well, what does this mean? And then I realized, I asked my ancestors that I want to meet them and I want to know their names. And I was like, not y'all coming in the form of a spa though. But it made me look up the spa, and there's an actual spa with the name. So I was like, okay, I'll take some more, a look to see like what's going on. Maybe what's the connection, find out the connection. But I thought it was interesting that we were at, and how my mind literally puts it, what is like, we were at the water hole, and I got a chance to see my family at the water hole.
What in the world?
And the water was so beautiful. Like, when I say, like, it's water that you see like in the magazines where they're telling you, oh, to go to this island and it's so beautiful. It was like that. So I said, okay, can I go back? Like, can I get in the water this
Oh,
time?
will you take
So
me?
exactly. Like, can I bring a friend? Because I'm telling you, it was beautiful. So but like I said, it was a very intricate dream. And then I realized it may not be a dream. It may just be my ancestors took me to the dream space so I can interpret what it is.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
I always find that interesting because I've had talks with other people in regards to dreams and what they represent. And a lot of them say that a lot of times your ancestors or angels, ascended masters, friends, past loved ones that you haven't met will come in the form of an object that represents something that they liked or that they're attached to or that they enjoyed doing while they were on this physical plane. So it's always interesting to see if the actual person is going to visit you or if the representative is going to come and see you. So I'm always interested to hear about, when people dream, what they're actually dreaming of, because sometimes it's the actual ancestor, other
Exactly.
times it's an object, a tangible item that's associated with them. So you know that it's them, like a scent, like you'll smell like a certain scent and you
Yep.
know that it's them. So
Exactly. And the other part about it was that when it really hit me when I put the pieces together, because in the dream I remember saying, why are all these staff members just sitting here? Like, it was a lot of people in the room, but they were all wearing the same shirt and they were just sitting there. And I'm like, why are they sitting here? Should they be like taking care of yeah, should they be working? Like, what's going on? And so it's like I laugh at it now because one particular person, I have the visual. I don't know, I cannot remember his name, but I have his visual. But the guy was sitting there, he was just like, yeah, it's so nice to meet you. And he was sitting there like, hello, you asked to see us. We're here. And
that's
then it didn't dawn on me. And it's just like, oh, yes, your boy have blonde moments sometimes, okay? Like, there, that's my secret.
that is fascinating. Listen, because like that's almost like uncanny because you can just like look at someone and just like size up the whole situation. So the fact that you're like dreaming and you're trying to put the pieces together, I'm like Brian automatically knows just in the twinkle of an eye what's going on. So I'm just like, damn, they really had you like
They had
putting the
me.
pieces together.
They had me. They got me real good.
Damn. Well, that's a note to you guys. That is a note to make sure you pay attention to yourself. And that's why I had these in my notes to make sure that you guys are dream journaling and you're trusting your intuition because emotional boundaries are crucial right now. Trusting your intuition and keeping your emotional boundaries in order is vital during this time. Making sure that you're not absorbing other people's energy because if you do absorb their energy, it's going to cloud your energy. It's going to confuse you. It's going to put you on the path of confusion, and you may have a hard time differentiating your thoughts from theirs. So make sure that you have those emotional boundaries up and make sure that you're not absorbing other people's energy during this time, okay? So what are some things that you guys should be doing during this retrograde? During these 5 planets being in retrograde, these are some of the things that you guys should be doing, okay? Healing unresolved issues with mentors, teachers, or distant relatives. Now, I'm not talking about issues that someone has created and that they ain't. I'm talking about if this is something that you guys had a disagreement on, a trusted source, someone you love, honor, and cherish, then yes, it's okay to go back and try to rectify that bond. But if it's, someone who ain't, okay, let the bell
Right.
break, okay?
Let it
It
go.
is what it is. It happened for a reason. Let the trash take itself out. But if it's someone, who you guys know that you guys just had a little small quarrel, disagreement or whatever, you might want to revisit that. This is a time to revisit people, places, and things during this time, all right? Also, you guys can revisit creative or spiritual projects. Yes, now is the time for you guys to revisit creative or spiritual projects, because why? That Piscean energy from this retrograde is going to be downloading a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas into you guys' heads. Cause you guys to be very creative during this time, okay? So revisit projects that you were stumped on, projects that you previously abandoned, because now you may have the spiritual insight to move forward with it. Spirit will put a lot of spiritual ideas, okay, in your subconscious, so you guys can complete those projects, all right? Your psychic abilities will be transforming during this time. So it is a time for you guys to connect with your higher self. So if you have not been doing any grounding or meditating, now is the time. Now is the time more than ever to connect with this Piscean energy, so that you guys can get more spiritual downloads and connect to your higher self, all right? And so you can deepen your psychic abilities, all right? Here are some practical tips for navigating during this time. I've kind of gone into this, but I'll just double back and go over it again. Double check emails, texts, and travel plans, all right? Slow down. Don't make any impulsive decisions. Honor your intuition. Piscean energy heightens your psychic awareness, all right? So listen to your gut feeling. If it walks like a duck, if it smells like a duck, if it looks like a duck, it's a duck, okay?
It's a duck.
It's a duck. Don't try to call it a horse. Don't try to make it into a giraffe. It's a duck, damn it, okay? And if you feel like it's a duck, chances are quack, quack, it's a duck, okay? So this is the time for you guys to trust yourself. And like, it's funny, but the other part of it is, if you have someone who is trying to convince you that that's not a duck, you will question yourself like, oh, well, maybe it's not a duck. Maybe it's just a short giraffe, okay? Because there are people out there that will convince you that something is not what it is. But during this time, you got to go within. And you got to trust yourself. And you got to know that what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing is true. Because you said it is.
Listen.
Okay? Because you feel it. Because you know it to be true. So that's why it's a time for you guys to really hone in on your spiritual gifts. Really spend time with yourself, because if you don't, someone else will tell you what you're feeling. Someone else will tell you how to feel. And someone else will tell you who you are if you don't know. That's why you have to understand yourself. Honor yourself, value yourself, and most of all, love yourself, so that when you are faced with people that try to tell you who you are, you already know what they're doing. They're trying to do the switcheroo because they don't know their self. They don't honor their self. And they sure as hell don't love their self. And they're trying to convince you otherwise of who you are. Okay, so that's all I have. Mercury retrograde isn't just about bad luck. It is a cosmic guidance for us to pause, realign, and for us to prepare for what's next. It's a spiritual checkpoint for growth. This is our time to really look at our lives and see where we need to grow. What do we need to stop nurturing? It's not just a time for us to look at where we need growth. What do we need to put an end to growing? What needs to stop growing? What do I need to stop nurturing? Because a lot of things that we're nurturing, that we're tending to, that we're trying to cultivate, need to die and be thrown away. And that's just the truth, without any sugarcoating it. So look at a lot of your relationships, look at your jobs, look at your projects, look at your friend group, look at family. Because you don't need to be attached to anything that is bringing you down, that is dragging you, and that is making you feel like you're putting more into it than it's putting into itself. Everything needs to be 50-50. Everything. If you're putting in more than someone else is, get rid of it. If you're giving more energy to something than that person is, get rid of it. Okay? 2026, we need to finish off 2025 going into 2026 with main character energy and only giving into things that have reciprocity, that are going to give to us.
Listen.
And that's all I got to say, girl. I'm talking to myself tonight, girl. I'm talking to myself, okay? Because sometimes you got to practice what you preach and you got to hear it from the horse's mouth in order for you to really understand what needs to be done. So, yes, going into 2026, the key word is reciprocity.
Yes, and
Only things that are given to you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine. I was just going to add that now there is something that I have seen. So some of you may also be experiencing this. So I'm gonna speak on this last point first because I really loved it. So when you say it's time to let it go, right? There's been a few people that's been kind of getting away with things in my job space, and I had to let them know, like, okay, if you're telling me that you want increase, right? You have to show me that you want the increase. You can't just say it because your actions are negating everything that you're saying. So whatever you're trying to, and I know a lot of people say you don't really want to manifest anything during the retrograde period, but hey, we got several months. And remember, if you all were here, remember how Spirit was telling me at one point that sometimes a retrograde is there to slow down what's happening around you so you can peep at what's really happening so that you can manifest the right way. And so for this particular part of the conversation that I want to say is that whenever somebody says, "Oh, well, I've changed," or "I need this from you, I want this from you," and you know that they have had this certain type of pattern, now you have the power to say, "I will know that you would change when your actions change." We've always said that your actions speak louder than words. And so I wrote to them and I said, and I made it public. Now, I didn't call nobody out. They know who they were, but I said, just like the song says, how bad do you want it? Not the new song that bark like you want it. No, I'm not talking about this. This is an old song. And the song says, how bad do you want it? And yes, it is in that implication for the song. However, for this conversation, is how bad do you really want something to be manifested in your life? Are you going to say, oh, I'm going to manifest, like, I need $1,000 by the end of the week? And you just sitting there. Spirit's like, how can I give you something if you don't make movement? I need you to move. I need you to get out your four corners. I need you to walk down the street so that I can show you where to go, where this money can come into your life. Right? So things are slowing down so you can take note and take notice of what's happening around you so you can meet the goal that you have. The other thing is, I actually had somebody to come and apologize to me for their actions that they had towards me.
Who?
And
Or not who, but
yeah.
what happened?
Yeah, but no, like this person, we were cool, and then it was, oh, I'm just going through some things and da 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 da. And then it was like, um, how, like, okay, so we do this to our pets, right? It's like you dangle the toy in front of the pet face, and when the pet goes to get it, then it's like, well, it was something like that. In our friendship, it was just like, hey, yeah, we could do this, we could do that, and then anytime I tried to do what was agreed upon, it was, man, just get out of here. I got so much to do. And I was just like, it's not going to be too much of that. I don't like to repeat patterns. No, I'm a pattern breaker. So I just said, you stay in your corner, I stay in mine. I'm good. We don't ever have to speak ever again in life. When I tell people that, I think people think that I'm joking, No, I am content. I am content with where we left things. I don't need to go back to clarify, to clear up, because you have showed me your A double crooked letter too many times for me to come chasing. And my bestie knows. She's known me for the longest. She know I am not a chaser. Baby, I don't when my dog gets loose and run around the neighborhood, guess what I do? I look, I don't chase. Cause baby, you gonna get cold enough, you gonna get hungry enough to be doing what? Scratching on the door, Daddy, let me in. And that's exactly what she does. I do not chase. I am an attractor, right?
You're a Sagittarius in a past life. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, especially with a Sag moon and rising, come on, it's in there. Um, and so the other thing is, I didn't have to do anything. I just simply separated myself. And then the person saw their actions and they came back and apologized. They said, no, like, I'm genuinely sorry. Like, I've had a chance to really reflect, and I treated you like crap. I treated you like crap, and you didn't deserve that. It was some things that I was going on. I wish a lot of other people would see that about themselves too, would have that revelation. Because what happened, I smiled. I didn't smile because it was like that I told you so energy. I smiled because I said, you don't know how much karmic debt that you just erased.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back and apologize to people for your behaviors, when you know that you was in the wrong, what you tell karma is, girl, before you come from my neck, I have gotten it straight. And guess what? Karma says, I no longer have to touch you.
That's right.
I no longer have to keep whooping your ass in these streets because you learned the lesson.
Then people don't realize how easy, like, you can just clear up so much debt just by simply speaking your truth and apologizing for your wrongdoings.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally that simple. Literally.
It's that simple. So that's why when you were saying earlier, like, it may, like, if the ex is calling you, they may not be calling or texting you for like, hey, I want to get back. They may be trying to clear up some karmic debt. Allow them to. Now, if they start going left, then you will easily can tell, like, oh, okay, you on that sugar honey iced tea right now. Like, no, we good. But sometimes they really are coming up because they have been urged to clear up that karmic debt. And they can't move on to the next lesson until they clear up the karmic debt. So now it is your responsibility to make sure that you are not holding somebody up from going to the next level and growing. Right. So I did want to share those two things.
That's right. I love that. And I just want to make this quick announcement before we move on to the next assignment. In case you guys weren't on last week, we are still doing the Ask B. We've just revamped it. And when that time comes, we will give you guys the opportunity to Ask B. But you guys will have to submit a payment, 1111, to B. We will drop his Cash App and we will pin it because his time is energy, and energy is time. So that is the only thing that we have revamped when it comes to Ask B. We'll still have it every single week or every single Tuesday around the same time, as we're ending the show. But we will have his Cash App pinned so that you guys can, there it is, so that if you guys want to ask a personal question, that's the difference. If you guys have a personal question that you guys want to ask, you will have to submit 1111. But he will, as always, do a general reading for everyone in the collective. It will be general. It will not be specific. So general means it may or may not apply to you. So if you want something to apply to you specifically, there's his Cash App.
Yeah. And I will say this too. Sometimes spirit will tell me to call out a name. And when I call out that name, if that's you and you know that's your situation, please pay attention. That spirit saying, hey, I need you to pay attention to this. Because that has happened several times. Even on my own personal channel, like doing readings. Oh, that looks good.
Oh my God.
That looks good. So first, I'm starting off with my healing deck, my healing cards, because I want to see what is some of the things that we need to focus on healing wise during this retrograde season. The first card I will say is Smoky Quartz, and it says clearing negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Clearing negativity. So we got to get rid of it. And it says release negativity from within or around you. So if you got that thing, that person, you listen to this one radio station or podcast and it's always something negative, Spirit is like, get that away from you. You don't need that at this time. Like you really don't, especially in a retrograde when things is already slowing down and going haywire. You do not need any other, I would say, what's the, I forgot how they used to say it, but in science you don't need any negative neutrons around you. There we go. Okay. um the next one is it must be a quartz night. Clear quartz. Let yourself feel all your emotions. And Ashley said that earlier. Ashley said that. It says your entire rainbow spectrum of feeling is sending you an important message and guidance. So what are again, like I said earlier, I kept seeing 555. There could be other numbers that you're seeing. There could be specific songs that you keep hearing over and over again. Um, I'm gonna say this loosely because commercials come up all the time, right? Religiously. But for some of you, it's like you see a certain commercial. It's like right after you think about something, you see this, you see a commercial. That's spirit trying to get your attention. So say it's like you thought about your past cat for whatever reason. And then all of a sudden you see a Friskies commercial. Come on. That spirit saying like, yeah, I want you to stay in that space because there's something that you need to get out of what, like, remember the age you were when you had that cat. Remember where you were when you had that cat. Things like that. The last healing card is Unikite, and it says answered prayers. All your great work has opened the door for divine solutions and support. So that's another reason why you have to let go of all these negativity, because you have all these blessings coming in and you don't need it being weighed down and pushed aside because of negative Nancy is in your ear, right? Like when you get that good news and you like, oh my gosh, girl, like, bro, let me tell you, like, yo, they just gave me this call, and oh, it's probably, I would be too careful. I would be really careful because that could be like a scam or something, and you don't want it, and that could be your open door. And now you questioning, do I now, should I really go? Oh, should I not?
Negative Nancy.
Negative Nancy, get it out. Um, you have to also think of the spirit. Everything in the physical world matches something in the spiritual world, and I think a lot of people forget that.
Mm-hmm.
So investments is just like you walking in faith, is
Mm-hmm.
you taking that chance on following spirit and actually doing what spirit is telling you. Same thing about investments and our money markets, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much are you willing to put into positive things in your life versus the negative things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are you going to really tell that person, I think it's time for you to go and not return? Or are you going to continue to have that person in your life? Like, let's weigh the options. I'm seeing a scale right now. Let's weigh the options. What do you want more of? And sometimes, yes, it's hard to walk away from certain situations. I'm not going to hold you and act like I've never been there. I have, right? But when you look at what it's costing you, that's when you have to weigh it the most. That's when you have to take the chance.
Mhm.
There's one more card trying to come out. Nope, that's not it.
Oh.
All right, that's it. All right. So the first card, Seven of Pentacles. You're starting to see some things grow for you. You're starting to see breakthroughs. That's the word I'm hearing is breakthrough. And it might be so small, but it's a breakthrough that's happening. And this breakthrough is taking you to your dreams and your goals and your destiny. We have the star card here. This is the breakthrough that you've been praying for. It's like, I just need that one little sign. Like, okay, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just reminded me of something that happened to me on last Saturday. So I was walking my dog and it was really late. Like I had fallen asleep on the couch and then I got up and I said, "Oh, it's time for me to walk you, do your last walk." And I was walking outside, and as I walked up the stairs that's outside of my apartment, I saw a shooting star. And I was just like, wow, I have not seen a shooting star in like forever. And so I was like, let me go ahead and put my wish and put my thing in the atmosphere, because I need a return of investment, that ROI. Come on, right? And so, and I really thought about it, and I said, I really have not seen a shooting star in so long. And I said, and had I walked her earlier, I would have missed it. Had
Mhm.
I continued to be sleeping, I would have missed it. Had I said, "Oh, I'm not going to walk you right now, I'll walk you in the morning," I would have missed it. So sometimes those little breakthroughs is showing you that you have an opportunity coming. So it doesn't matter how big or how small it is, it lets you know that something's coming. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Um, and what I'm hearing is everywhere you go, you leave a trail of money. And not just because it's on the card. I'm literally hearing that. It's just like wherever you go, and for me, for those who don't know, for Pentacles, I don't just see it as money. I see it as resources. So it's like wherever you go, you're either going to be a resource to someone or someone's going to have a resource for you, and it's going to allow you to do what you need to do for this next level in your life, this next era in your life, this next season in your life. And of course, again, you have to walk away from some things. We have the Eight of Cups. And like what did I say earlier? Yes, it sometimes it's hard to walk away from some things, but when you weigh how much it is costing you, you will easily give it up and walk towards what you're supposed to do. Because Two of Swords is here. You no longer have to try to figure out what's happening. You no longer have, it's like how it's coming to me is that you no longer have puzzle pieces in front of you. You see it clearly. You're no longer seeing illusions about situations. You see it for what it is. What's the saying? Um, call a spade a spade. What Bessie said? Hold on, I gotta remember what you said. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, baby, it's a damn duck, or however you said
It's
it.
a duck.
It's a damn duck,
It's
okay?
a damn duck.
So it is what it is. There is no stop trying to paint over it. I'm hearing it's time to shatter those rose colored glasses. That's what I just heard. It's time to shatter, not break. Shatter it. Because when you break something, it can be fixed. But when you shatter something, you have to get rid of it completely.
Mhm.
It's like you have to stop. you have to stop giving grace where grace is not deserved,
That part.
right? The earth teaches us that, okay, when you're pulling too much, I got to put you in a drought so you'll learn how to save. That's what you got to do with your energy sometimes. You have to tell somebody, okay, not too much. Like you pulling my energy way too much. I got to pull back. I haven't heard from you in like a week. Yeah, I had some things to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I needed to have that energy for me, because some people, they will literally drain you,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to be able to put up that boundary, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Spirituality is all about, and I have come to learn it, and what I have learned is that sometimes when you need to pull away, it's because spirit wants to give you a download. Spirit wants to teach you a few things about who you are, or a project that you're supposed to do. And you can't do that when people are constantly pulling your energy, or people are always in your space. Thank you. Because I was like, what was the example that you gave me? So the example that Spirit gave me was, if you're new here, I'm a preacher's kid. I was raised in the church. So hopefully you know the analogy. But Spirit said, you know how when Jesus talked to a crowd, eventually Jesus got in the boat and went out to the middle of the ocean. I mean, not the ocean, but the lake, or however you want to call it, right? It said Spirit was like, he got away from people because they was pulling his energy. He created a boundary. And so a lot of people in that space feel like, oh, well, because I'm in leadership, I got to give. And Spirit's like, no. Sometimes you got to pull away and let people figure things out on their own. And I know this because I used to be the type of person that always wanted to help people, because I have this heart of gold. And it's like, oh, but they really need help. Let me go. And I would use my good hard earned dollars on
Mm-hmm.
people who were not appreciative,
Mm-hmm.
and took it gladly for months later to give me the you know what's to kiss. And I'm like, and Spirit's like, that's why you have to preserve those things for you. It's okay to give sometimes, but not all the time. And when you are a giver all the time, you are the main person that need to learn boundary work, to preserve your energy, to preserve your resources, and to preserve your gifts. So I really wasn't going here tonight. I promise you. I didn't know where I was going to go. Let me start there too. So even with the change in the Ask B sessions, like I struggled with that because I'm such a giver. And Spirit said, but you got to show your value, because when you're easily accessible to people, people will easily take advantage. People will say, oh, free readers, well then why do I need to support? Why do I need to pour into? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you don't value yourself, then how can other people value you? I was like, okay. So, and that goes for all the entrepreneurs out there. What is it? What's that price that's ringing in your head that you're like, that might be too steep. People are losing jobs this season. Spirit's like, I'm gonna send you the people that's gonna pay for it. Why would I give you a gift that you can't use to make you live the life that I have designed for you? I Spirit never designed anybody on this earth to struggle. When we Oh my gosh, okay. So what was just downloaded, literally just downloaded, was When we learn to find how we find financial freedom is by finding the freedom within our minds first. If we're always focusing in on what's not happening, what can't happen, what we cannot do, we get trapped. But when we open our minds to limitless possibilities, limitless things, limitless resources, limitless opportunities. I think I said it, but if I didn't, I'm saying it now, right? Then it's like, what's going to stop you from succeeding? That's that's when you tap into that energy. The world is mine. Who's going to deny me? What I think Sheree said it off of the Atlanta Housewives. Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna deny
Who
me,
going
boo? Who gonna deny me, boo? Who? Who? And if they do deny me, baby, I won't meant to invest with you. Toodles. Let me go. Let me go. Cause that mean
not
I
Toodle?
toodles. Cause that mean I got a bigger pot coming. I got somebody else that okay, Spirit just played me that old school song. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you. Like there's always like they said, there's more fish in the sea. There's bigger fish in the sea. Like I remember like Spirit always drops songs in my head. Like that's our thing, right? I remember singing at this church once, and Spirit said to me loud and clear, "Now we're getting ready to sing in a church setting. Let's paint the picture." He was like, "Big things popping, little things stopping." And I said, I know you did not just put that song in my head and I'm in the middle of the church. Like these people, like I ain't never been to this church before, but okay. Kid you not. The preacher come turned around and said, "Man, I know some of y'all know that T.I. song. Big things popping, little things stopping." I froze. I said, I was like, okay, you said it. You said it, saying it. Okay. And and so it's like you will have epiphanies or moments like that, and that's like Spirit reiterating. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but Spirit is saying, yes, you are hearing me clearly. Yes, I'm dropping directions to you. You just gotta catch it. You just gotta quiet the noise around you so you can really pay attention to what I'm telling you, because what I'm telling you is gold. Meaning what I'm telling you will make you, will help you to manifest a goal, will help you to tap into the resources you never knew existed. I'm hearing that the song from Pocahontas, the things, what is it? Have you ever, there's this one line in that song. It's the one where
Oh,
that what she said. Have you ever with the blue corn moon or something like that? But there's this one line that says, "I never knew what I never knew what I never knew," or something along those lines. And that's what I'm hearing. You never know what you never know until you know it, until it is revealed to you. So yeah, tap in, people. It's a retrograde, but don't let it slow you down. Let it show you what you're supposed to be doing right now.
for sure. And I like what you said about like trusting yourself and making sure that you're listening to yourself, because if you don't have an understanding with yourself, you will allow outside influences to dictate who you are, where you're going, where you've been, and where you should be. So you do have to have that relationship with your higher self first and foremost in order for you guys to trust yourself outside with outside influences. And that's where peer pressure comes from. You get around certain people, you don't really know yourself, you allow other people to tell you what you should do, encourage you to do things that may go against the grain, but once you have that inner knowing and that inner knowledge of self, using your third eye to really see and understand people on a deeper spiritual level, you'll never steer yourself wrong, because you'll always be looking at people with the right eye, if that makes sense. All right, you got two eyes to look, but you got one eye to really see. And once that eye is open, it's no going back. I know we say that, and you guys are like, oh my God, you always talk about the all-seeing eye, but it's so true. Like, once your eye is open, once you are awake, you will never go back to sleep. You will literally see everything for what it is. You'll see people for who they are. You'll see people who are literally putting on a front and are just entertaining. You'll see people that are literally just going with the motions, going with the flow. And then you'll see your people, your tribe, people who are really about their itch, who are really living in their truth, and who are really trying to follow their soul's purpose.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about, just being able to see everything for what it is, not just people, but life, the world, the system, the matrix. Once this eye is open, you not only are able to see people, you're able to see the world for what it is. And sometimes you don't want to go down that rabbit hole because you really can't come back out of it.
Mm-hmm. I found
all those people. Huh?
Oh, you can go ahead.
I was going to say, all those people wanting things to go back to normal. This is normal. The world is not going back to normal. It has to crumble in order for it to be built on another structure that's going to be solid. It's never going back to normal. So once you hear someone say they want the world to go back to normal, you already know what type of time they're on. You already know what frequency they're vibrating on, because they're still waiting for the world to go back to normal. It was never normal. Working 40 or 80 hours a week, that's normal. Having 2 days off, that's normal. Like paying for water and fruit, that's normal. Like, the world is never going back to normal.
Especially when you have spirit saying, I will supply all your needs, but I need you to rest. That took me the longest thing to learn, because it was instilled in us. You got to work. And I was tired. And spirit's like, but you don't have to do that much. Watch this. Let me take it away from you. And I said, oh, okay. And go ahead.
No, people will also look at you funny, like, when they realize that you're not a slave to the system, and that you're no longer attached to the matrix. So that will also tell you who your people are, because they're like, how you making ends meet when you're not clocking in every day? I am clocking in every day. I'm not clocking in on your clock. I'm clocking in on my spiritual clock. And the Most High still sees fit to take care of me. So I'm not wanting for anything. People will always look at you funny when you're not a part of the system, when you're not a part of the matrix. That's how you know those are not your people. But so you have to show grace to them, because you were once that person clocking in. You were once in the matrix. You just woke up. They're still asleep. So that's why you still have to show grace to them, because I was once that person, clocking in every day, using my major that I went to college for. So you just have to know who your people are.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said you got to know who your people are, because I found the lyrics to the song. It's The Colors of the Wind. I should have known that, because it's my favorite song.
Colors of the Wind.
So there is this one line where she says, you think the only people who are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew you never knew. So that's, yeah. You never know something until you know it.
That's right. Oh my God, that is so true. And that applies to our theme tonight. Like, you never know until you walked in someone's footsteps. So for someone to tell you that you don't know what you're doing, you're not doing it right, they haven't walked in your footsteps, and someone cannot take you to places that they've never been.
Exactly.
If they've never been, they can't take you anywhere they've never been. So be careful who you're taking advice from, because if someone is telling you you're not doing something right, what are you doing? You look crazy. They've never done it. That's why it looks crazy. That's why it looks impossible. That's why it looks unfathomable, if that's even a word, because they've never done it. So be careful who you're taking advice from. And I love that. Like, you have to look at the colors of the wind. Shit, because colors are also energy too. You know, like, that's why you have to look at someone's energetic aura. What are they? What energies are they vibrating at? And you'll be able to determine that once you guys get up in your frequency and get more acquainted with looking at people's auras. Spirit will show you where people are vibrating at. Red, purple, crown chakra, red, root chakra. You know, Spirit will show you that. So keep meditating, keep putting them dogs in the dirt, grounding. And I'm telling you guys, all the answers will be within. You'll have all the answers. So yeah, that was dope. Like, tonight's topic, I needed to hear that, not only for myself, but you know, sometimes when you say things, it like registers better. And so I'm gonna go back and like rewatch this, especially when I chop it up and do little, you know, small segments to release back to Instagram. But I needed to hear a lot of the things that I said, a lot of things that you said I needed to hear. So thank you for that reading being that we didn't even know that we needed. You ate and left no crumbs. And again, guys, every Tuesday, we give you guys the opportunity to ask B. We will drop his Cash App, which we did, and you guys will have the floor to be able to ask B. You don't have to DM us ahead of time. You don't have to come on the live and be on the live with us. You can simply just ask your question, not unless you want to. That's totally up to you. But yes, we do this every Tuesday, and we do the live every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we have a different topic, a different thought-provoking topic that we bring to you guys every Tuesday, 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. So if we don't have anyone that wants to ask me a question, this will conclude tonight's episode of Cards and Conversations. All right, you guys need to make sure that you are staying high vibrational during this time. Make sure you are surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, because during retrograde, people's true colors come out. And sometimes it's not even their true colors. It's just because their emotions are out of whack. So, not telling you to walk on eggshells, but tread lightly during this time. And we will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Cards and Conversations, where every episode unfolds a deck of intriguing discussions. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.